morning, this is Dan the Zoo Man with Lee the Zoo Ma. We're going to try to use that name for her because that's what she used to go by when we had the zoo. And what we try to do is try to give you a summary of the news this morning. Not everything, just kind of a 15-minute summary. And the purpose is to get you to understand it from a biblical economics perspective. What I mean by that, B.E.T, or Biblical Economics Today, gives believers the tools to be fruitful without greed, without coveting, without lying, and without stealing. Is that correct, Lee? Did I do it good?
You did it pretty good.
Well, we've been trying to rehearse
The other
this.
thing is, we're trying to get people out of the secular zoo.
The secular zoo. Oh, did I forget that?
You forgot that.
Okay, I call it the liberal zoo, but both
Liberal
are true.
zoo, okay.
Okay, we're rocking and rolling. We did all that in 1 minute, so we got 14 minutes to go. We got to talk fast.
Okay, real fast. We'll get to
No, we don't want to do that. But an interesting thing, I think this is so funny, Lee. I need your voice. Laura Loomer talked about, wrong article. I'm sorry, I messed up. We'll just have to, you'll have to do the voice again later.
It's not funny with the wrong voice.
It's funny because we mess up. Talking about, I got to do the Laura Loomer. Let's see, where did it go? I lost it. I guess it's gone. I don't know. Okay, well, we're just going to start then. Here's where we're going to go. That show went away. We're going to do a different one. The White House physician.
Hey, this is because we're not trained professionals like Chris Wallace.
That's right. We're not like Chris Wallace. That's definitely
In
true.
more ways than one.
Definitely true. The White House physician has said,
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
he's back. Meaning Trump is well. He's back in the White House. He's doing good. Isn't that cool?
That's cool.
And also, we're not going to spend a lot of time on Trump today. Trump said in getting back, he did a video, really worth watching. Don't let this disease dominate you. We have created some new treatments. Just like we overcame the economy back years ago, we overcame all the communists, we overcame global warming, we overcame the gas prices, we overcame all these things. We've overcome this disease, and we have some really good tools. We don't have to put you on ventilators.
And we don't have to wait for the, the vaccine. There's medicines that can help sick people
That's exactly
today.
Right. That's exactly right. So that is so great because these new medicines, they can give you a cocktail. You can get in quick. That in Trump's case, jumped him out in 4 days.
Yeah.
And but that can happen to anybody.
Yeah.
If they have the right doctors. Now the problem is, some doctors want to be liberals, and you got to watch your doctor. Doctors can mess you up.
Doctors matter.
I am realizing that as I have been on my Social Security with my Medicare treatment that I get, insurance. I've discovered I've got to take my health in my own hands, right?
Right.
Because I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker. I was going downhill.
Yeah.
And finally, I go, this is crazy. And I insisted on doing something, which the emergency doctor told me, because I was disabled for a year. And really totally disabled, not even able to get out of the chair for almost a week. And then I'm barely able to get out of the yard. And what happened, because I went out, I found a doctor that had knowledge, not just was guessing or giving me pills, and she began to treat me. Then I found a doctor on the internet named Dr. Boz, and I highly recommend you go there. She has a treatment that really helps you, and it has totally done away with my high blood pressure, what else have I lost?
Diabetes.
My diabetes, my brain fog, which I still have old age brain fog, but not as bad as I used to, and my swelling in my legs, and a lot of the pain that I had all over my body. It's still there. I'm still old. Because I'm going to be 74 this week, Miss Lee.
I know.
Are you giving me a trip to Paris?
There we go.
Oh no, you told me I already got my present. That's
Yeah.
right. I'm so disappointed. But anyway, here we are. We are overcoming, and this is part of what we as individual citizens need to be doing, as the president said. Don't let the system dominate you. There are things, if you will research and work at learning, you can overcome a lot of your diseases. And I'm having a lot of people here in the park that I work with, my little village, because we live in the RV park here in Florida. And a lot of these old people, they're like, woe's me. And we're beginning to help them to overcome. Because
they're actually seeing a difference in Dan.
Oh, they're seeing an amazing difference in me.
Yeah.
And now they're saying, what are you doing? They're asking me, and I'm able to give them these things that are helping me. So back to the news. Miss Lee says I should get back to the news. We've only taken 6 minutes to talk about me.
Yeah. Go. Keep telling what's in the news.
You seem to be wanting to talk.
I want to know what's in the news.
Oh, next. I already said that. The president is doing that thing.
I know. We've already talked about him.
Okay, let's see. Oh, this is so good. The morning brief from PJ Media. Okay?
I forget who PJ Media is.
It's and Stephen Krauscher is the writer.
Okay.
PJ Media is a news source.
Okay, I know I've heard of it.
I've used them quite often. They're conservative. The morning briefing says that they're saying covering Trump needs to swap diapers for big boy panties. And that isn't that the way it is? All these media does, or the drive-by media, or the whatever the media you call it.
I know you get sick of reading the news because it's like.
Lee doesn't even want to be around me when
it's like poopy pants all the time.
That's right. It's like changing a monkey's diaper. Miss Lee did that when we had the zoo. She changed the monkey's diaper for 15 years.
Long time.
And people always ask,
way too much.
Were you sad when the monkey left? And Lee said, no, I was kind of happy. Although she kind of liked the monkey too.
It was a love-hate
relationship. So anyway, this is a big deal and worth reading, and it's at PJ Media. Now, Laura, how do you pronounce her name? Loomer, Loomer, at the Morning Pulse. And this is where I want to really concentrate, because Lee and I have written an ebook about this. I don't think it's totally finished, but it's out there if somebody wants to read it. It's on George Washington's farewell address.
Oh, yeah, really.
And
excellent.
She says right now, this is one of the most important things we should read. Because he wrote, the independence and liberty you possess are the work of joint councils, joint efforts, common dangers, suffering, and success. Your union, or our union, ought to be considered as a main prop of your liberty, and the hope of one ought to endure you to the preservation of others. In other words, don't think about yourself.
Yeah, and
it's like Black Lives Matter. We think about ourselves. We just think about ourselves. We discriminate. We think about ourselves.
Yes, but over and over, I've seen many black reporters and commentators and conservatives say, what has Black Lives Matter, all this money, they're raising millions of money, what have they done to help black communities? Nothing.
Well,
they go in and they burn down the buildings of black business owners. They burn down the homes of black business people. They burn down the schools of black children. They are not putting any money to help those communities.
And when they go to the suburbs, people have guns and they don't want to take them on.
They don't want to mess with them.
And when people go with guns into those areas, they say they're white supremacists, like they did that boy from Kenosha, which actually he was attacked.
Yeah.
It's becoming more and more obvious he was attacked.
And many times, if you'll go further than the headlines and CNN News, in reading articles, you see that many of these black people have started these businesses because They see it as a ministry in their community.
That's right, because they're working from biblical economics.
Right.
So many of these black people are not what you call greedy capitalists.
Right.
They're trying to serve the Lord and serve their community by providing service to people.
They have enough money that they have succeeded in their business. They could move to the suburbs and have a nice house in,
Yes.
in a peaceful neighborhood.
Yeah.
But they choose to be where they are because they see it as a Christian ministry.
And that's where the greedy, and that's what they are, and those are the libertarian capitalists. They will say, well, I got enough money now, I'm leaving, and I'm going to go make a lot more money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because this place isn't productive enough for
Right.
me. Where these people are biblical economists. They have a biblical economic. And it's service oriented, where Jesus said, give and you shall receive. So they're receiving blessing, but Black Lives Matter are
just taking everything away.
Giving them destruction.
Right.
Now, who is the father of destroying? Who is called the destroyer in the Bible?
Satan.
That's right. These people are the doctrine of demon people. And Antifa goes right along with them.
Yeah.
So it's very important. But this is where it's also important. These people, as we watch them on a lot of these poor people that their businesses are being destroyed, they aren't vengeful. They aren't wanting revenge.
Mm-mm. Yeah, they aren't. They're not saying, I'm going to get those guys.
I'm going to get those people. They just say, I want to rebuild.
I don't know how I can.
I don't know how I can stay here. They're perplexed.
Yeah.
And that's one of the principles in George Washington's farewell address. He commented that the spirit of revenge will destroy you.
There's so much good stuff in his farewell revenge.
Yeah.
It's so worth reading. And hey, it'd make a great homeschool project to study this and discuss.
It's
all
not hard to
aspects
read.
of
It's
it.
not long. It's probably a few pages. I don't remember.
Mostly 99% language you can understand.
Language was a little difficult. That's why what we were doing was translating each of his paragraphs into common American paragraphs. But George Washington really tried to warn the country. And one of the warnings in his farewell address was, don't get the spirit of party.
That was really stuck with my mind. I kept thinking about that. And it's like, what do we see in our government today? All they do is talk about the Republicans and the Democrats.
Yep.
The Republicans and the Democrats.
And see,
instead of the country.
Alexis de Tocqueville, when he came to America, he says, no, Americans had their Bibles in one hand and their axes in another. Now, I've translated that in a new way. We had our Bibles in one hand and our tools of production in another. Tools of production, that guy's store. In my case, it's technology that I'm broadcasting with. A farmer, it's his plow and tractors. So we want to not think in the area of revenge, in the area of spirit of party. And that includes the spirit of denominational party.
Yeah,
that's where
church life.
That's why it becomes churchism.
Yeah.
Because I hate it, just drives me crazy, and I have to be very patient. Because almost always with Christians, when I meet them, they say, "What church you go to?"
That's the first question they
ask. And I say, "Well, I want you to get to know me, and then I'll tell you more about me." And they don't like that.
No, they don't care.
Because they want to judge you on that denomination that they hate or they love. And that is a way to destroy community.
That's an awful thing for Christians to do.
That's an
But
awful
they do it all
thing.
the time.
Oh, that's all they ever do. As soon as they meet you and find out you're Christian, what church you go to.
Yeah.
And it's really destructive to community. Because it's like, what Lord do you follow? What Jesus? I say that sometimes. What truth do you follow? But what church? No. So, Miss Lee, we got 45 seconds. What was the summary of the news today?
I didn't read the news, so what do I know?
Your voice.
Oh, wow!
They were crybabies. Yeah, they were crybabies, and Trump was not a crybaby. He is an overcomer. And Laura says we need to follow the principles of George Washington. And we have a webpage on Facebook called George Washington Republicans. If any of you want to go there, you can like us, and it would be very helpful. This has been Dan Rodden, or Dan the Zoo Man, and Mrs. Zuma Lee getting us out of the liberal zoo.